It was very hard time for the small businesses, especially during the beginning of this pandemic. And they just lost a lot of customers. They were really struggling to pay their rent, to pay their bills.
City of Seattle have the funding to relieve like restaurants, for example, because the culture, a lot of them they feel uncomfortable if they can just go ahead and call somebody. Think they don't know the language, they don't know how to gather the information. So that means we meet a person to try to connect with the business owner.
Dạ thì em đã mở cái business để là 15 năm, thì trước đó thì làm ăn rất là khá, rất được. Nhưng mà sau thời gian mà Covid-19 á, thì em gặp rất là nhiều vấn đề.
Ilmaan qabna, ilmaan keenyaafillee ollaaf hunda sodaannee turre. Akkasiin biizinasa kana qabna, reentii kafallaa, mana morgeejii kafallaa. Dadhabsiisee cufnee bartee namninis waan sodaatu jecha biizinasni keenya hedduu nurraa gad bu'ee.
What to do? Because normally when we do outreach, we go into the business. So we work with the business owner, we know what they need. And then that's the way that we get connect, we get trust. So we know the culture, we can work with them, just send a message back to the city of Seattle. But because the COVID, because of the pandemic, so we cannot able to meet anybody.
We were really struggling to reach out to these small businesses, small business owners. They don't have emails. It's very hard to do this through phone calls, text messages. We have to be there in person. We just started supporting them in person, social distancing. So we can just give them the information. We support them with the intake. We fill out the applications for PPP, for different grants. I used to just create the email account for most of them so that they can get information, different information coming from the city, from the state, and from other funders.
Some of them, they don't hire employee that they work for them. The owner basically from A to Z. So they don't keep track everything. Some people, they don't do monthly payment, for example. Some funding based on the salary. So because they don't claim employee, so they don't receive it. They say, I don't want to apply because I don't get it anyway. I should encourage them to apply because if you apply, you don't have the first time, you probably have the second time. So this is different funding.
Thì đã help cho những cái business nhỏ ở đây có được một khoản PPP, tiền loan của chính phủ, và những cái tiền program của city cho, như chẳng hạn như là round 4, round 3 chẳng hạn. Thì những cái được một số đó để mà mình survive cho được thời gian vừa rồi.
Gargaarsa amma ani argadhe ka SBA irraa ka jedhamu kan banisanirraa maallaqa 10,000 ka guuttadhe kaniin argadheen qaba. Hedduu na gargaare garuu.
The successful story that I have so many of them. So they call me back and say, Liaisons, I want to let you know that I received the fund. The dollar amount that I received, that helped me a lot. So that made me happy.
Most of the East African businesses were not closed. They are still functioning because of our support. So we were just giving them hope to continue, to just believe in themselves and fight with this pandemic, but not to just give up.
Mootummaan nu gargaarteef warri kun nu gargaaran hedduu takka isaanillee galatoonfanne nu gargaaree jiin hanqa xiqqaa. Ani biizinasa fi akkuma guddatee gartee biizinasuma gartee addunyaan beeytee itti fayyadamu namni itti fayyadamu ta'u.